it's going to be a pretty short summer.
Yeah, this is really weak from Tyloo. Just when they've lost that pick, they've got nothing left to do. They've run out of grenades. Just walking out of A there with one flash. You know, Kenny S is primarily opening CT spawn. You need to have multiple numbers coming out of that position if you're going to try and just walk out dry like they just did. At least 3 just popping out, at least try and go for a trade. Kenny, way too easy for him. But at the same time, that peek towards Sandwich was absolutely perfect. Too fast to react to as their money just keeps swelling. They keep keeping 5 players alive. Kenny has actually got $16,000. Finally. He's going to have nice resources to work with here, and he's hitting shots as well. This is much more like it. As we get into it, it's going to be 6 rounds in a row, round 9. And Deagles, once again, the loss bonus is only that effective when you're getting bomb plants down. That really has to come through as they hold up for CT aggression right now, but GT don't have to do that at all, really. Why would they? They've got double orbs. They know the money's low. Don't risk anything. As they hold towards top and middle once again.
In the off angle toward Cat. Shocks down below. I was going to commend its pistols only. Execute an attacker with kills. Look above. He might get another body. Really gave himself up. Good reaction to turn around and find Execute top mid. The one thing we haven't seen from Tyloo, we've seen a B fake that turned into a lackluster B take. We've seen quite a few A hits. I haven't really seen them get enough control of middle.
G2 are too established there, aren't they? It seems like they're having way too much control at that particular position as they've got crossfires with 3 players there. They're not being challenged at all. Tyloo have tried a few executions, but then getting completely shut down by Shoxy might dissuade them from trying it again. But they have got a full buy here. What can be done? It's never too late. It is a CT-sided affair, but Tyloo so far only picking up the pistol and the second round eco. And it's full control for G2 at this point. Plenty of cash as Kenny S will rattle off shots there through the smoke and indeed the window ledge itself. This looks like a fast gambit towards the connector position. You'd assume a flashbang comes in momentarily, but it's going to be Kenny just to drop the smoke, and there's the first kill. Jax will be taken down.
Hold from Summer to get that. First time we've seen anyone aggressively from G2 get caught out. That's not going to happen every round. It's not like they can rely on that alone, but at least they had the consideration to leave someone there for it. Lucky backs off as a result, but oh, this is audacious, but I like it. This is what we want to see from Shox. Recognizes that they've already killed the one player pushing. What's the likeliness of 2? Not for Shox. He's going to go all the way around.
He times this well. He might have 4 kills in front of him. They're all there. That's the bomb as well. He's going to have an amazing task here. He didn't check mid.
I don't like this. I don't know how you don't check mid. You already have 2 in the B site. Connector's open. Fortunately for him, they are heading up catwalk. I'm very surprised that he didn't go toward middle, but he'll get somebody. Now he can wrap back around and be underneath them.
They're falling back.
Yeah, they're going to go connector. It's the one spot open. That's why I think Shox had to go mid there. You've got 2 and B already. If they go there, you're ready for that. Go where you think they have a chance to get back over to A where there's no one. Thankfully, they've rotated towards CT spawn, but Kenny's going to be out of position. Lucky's not. He'll take attacker. Oh, great follow-up on Excurant as well. Bomb did get planted. Keep that in mind, because that gives Tyloo at least the extra 800, but still not out of it yet. They've got a second player inside connector that hasn't been spotted. And naturally, Vents and Jungle are covered off. Both positions viable for where the bomb is planted. Summer knows there's one out toward catwalk. Calls that the Vent's been open. He's spotted. He's given himself up. That's going to allow them to push in more aggressively from CT, and they're aware of it. Bintet swings for 1, turns it around, knows exactly where the bomb is. Chance he can line it up, hits the second, and he knows where Body is, but Body gets him while he's trying to reload, and that should be enough. Oh my, it's not. Tyloo just barely got that one. Thank you, Bintet. They'll be absolutely praising him, but they lose all 5.
Comes down to the absolute milliseconds there. It looked like G2 had done enough. A 4 versus 2. It was lucky with the great AWP frags from Connector, but they were just a little bit too slow on the retake there. A bit apprehensive to get through. They want to make sure all the numbers are there, and that's the right thing to do. And with that 1 more second, it would have been enough. But still, they got plenty of cash, and like you said, they took all 5 players down, so there's lots of reset potential. Shoxy, you are absolutely right. The fact he went toward B when they were fully established there with a crossfire, maybe he should have checked out middle and just had a little prod. The bomb was there. He could have had 2 or 3 kills. Obviously, he didn't have that information, but they had no control of the mid position for once. We just discussed that. G2 means so good at that particular area, and they left it wide open. They paid the price for it. The only way Tyloo could win that round was through connector, getting the bomb down quickly, and they get through it by the skin of their teeth. They will be taking a timeout here. Tyloo working out how they invest into this round. The money's not too bad, actually. After winning the round, they've actually about 5k each, so there is enough for a full buy. There's no AWPs. And we'll go back into that double op setup as we enter round number 11. 7-3 down, Tyloo really need to start posting multiple rounds here. Cannot afford a reset at this point.
Bintet waits on the AK. This time, it is going to be a relaxed middle, we'll call that, from G2. Smokes down execution on A. Finally, they get 2 in connector. This is what Tyloo's been lacking on their A hits. As Jax gets underneath of the shadow position, he's got to be well aware of the fact they'll rotate around. He's spotted. Attacker. Oh, he's up and down on the ladder. A little bit awkward. Took Attacker a little wild to find the shots, but yet no one able to counter peek him. Shox is always sneaky. He might get there. Oh, Bintet, he's got off the bomb. Shox has left him off the bomb. He nearly gets another, but Attacker gets around in time to spot him. He'll take the extra money, but they avoid the hard reset.
I thought Shoxy might have had that one there. It looked like he was about to be very dangerous indeed. If he denied the plant and then got the kill towards jungle, it could have been absolutely crazy. But it will be a couple of rounds in a row, and you're right, they do avoid the reset there. So this is another big opportunity for Tyloo. If they can win this round, they actually break the economy of G2, which was looking so good for them. It is a CT-sided affair, but Attacker getting it done with the AK-47. Great shots there to find the AWPer, especially towards spawn. And you can see the money being whittled down now. Shoxy enters. He must be going for an aggressive play because, yes, he's got no grenades. You buy no grenades at all if you're going to make a play like this, because it's likely you get a kill and you get traded out, so he doesn't want to waste the money. Had enough for all these header deeper, opting for heads-up duels here. Doesn't want the assistance of any of those grenades at all.
Kenny downed. Losing out on the op exchange. Kenny's on 12 kills, just to note, so he has been pretty much let off the chain. Finally reined back in. Execute going up the catwalk to do it. It's bold, works, gives them the man advantage. Shox, though, still going to push this. He's going to check the hallway. Somebody's waiting for it. Shox still got it. Somebody's been smart about his positioning. Summer as well in anchoring those, but now it's the chase from Attacker as Shox just wanted to rotate back through B. Gets caught out.
Don't know how he survived that. He was 40 HP already, then hit by 2 AK bullets, manages to live.
He kind of is stuck in the hallway right now. I think he's pinched right, and if he goes back through that doorway, they're going to spot him, but did they know?
This is actually kind of sick. They wouldn't expect him there.
Exactly. They're going to think he's gone all the way back. Smoke down especially is going to lead them to believe they're on the other side of it, the defensive side. 9 HP, all he needs is 1 here. If he gets 1, that's brilliant. He might get more than that, but he does step out. Pretty easy shot for Summer in the end, and Body will rotate back in. Still a tough task for him. He's the only one there currently. Has to hold off 2 players immediately working in from the apartments and firing the AUG already. He's made noise. Great turn back to find Summer. The headshot and execute it now. Just the AWP. Started this round off by taking out Kenny. He'll end it by dropping the Body, and it's G2 back on the winning side, 8-4.
I love that little play from Shox there, just to know, no grenades purchased. He knows he's going aggressive, and it's at the point where the grenades aren't going to help him. Just his aim. He manages to take down that player. This shot here, how he wins that duel, I don't know. An incredibly smart play. The smoke down, he sits in front of it. He knows he's low HP. He needs to be sneaky there just to get another kill, which he gets, and allows his teammates to rotate through. And as we mentioned, Body on a good day is actually a really strong anchor, and today seems like one of those days. He gets 2 great kills there. His teammates rotate in, they deny the plan, and look at the damage to the money. They're going to have to take a full eco here. So great round there. G2 will be winning the half at this point. How deep can they go? Can they find double digits and have a really convincing first map? Remember, Dust 2 next really does favor G2. The flashbang is spot on, but the Glocks come out on top. Good shot from Jax. It'll be difficult to even get a plan from this one, but at least they have a rifle now.
Kenny will take over ticket next. 1 rifle picked up, flash into mid. We've seen that work for them in the past. We've seen Kenny do it with the AWP early on. Now with the rifle, falls a little shy. Too many targets in front. Bintet waiting at A main. They're going to go back his direction as well as they go through spawn. So double op, double AUG. Kenny didn't hit the first one. I'm surprised he didn't, but the fact that he doesn't means the AUG now has to step out. Jax, excellent round. Waiting for the flashbang, actually got caught. Execute peaked a little bit sooner than he would have hoped. And now it is on Kenny. So this op still becomes a factor. I was going to say the rifle recovered position. Kenny's been accurate throughout this game, but that's 2 big misses and bomb down. Their lucky Body hits that because Lucky's on a retake with an AWP. Bintet's taking a massive risk right now. They're going slow because they have no information as to where he is. This could work.
He's got a smoke for the bomb. An incendiary for connector. They smoke the bomb, incendiary connector is done.
They have to consider it too, right? I mean, they're still checking. They had no idea. They thought he was going to still be in Palace, and because they hadn't gotten to the bomb, he was just going to be hiding.
It's way too
incendiary, yeah, that's way gone.
well.
He
He's
can
lost
just
a
run
round.
up. He's checked it already. That's too easy. Bintet, second time he's going to clutch out a round from the connector, this time with kills rather than time, and Tyloo get their fifth. I don't know what that Molotov was.
That's an incredibly easy one to throw as well. You just need to throw it on the steps, and he doesn't have access. That's the whole idea. If you throw it that deep, you've done nothing and given the round up. That's a Glock eco, by the way. There was nothing purged at all. They had Glocks and no armor. Full eco victory. An absolute nightmare. Overcommitting, I would say. Kenny, again, doesn't have to actually be outside of CT spawn area. The bomb wasn't planted. And here we go. This is YG2. Well, considered a team in the conversation to be dropped out of this stage in the tournament because of those sort of mistakes. Looked so good in the early sectors, but that's going to be game-defining, I would say. One AUG saved. Actually, I think purchased into this round. Jack's taking a massive gamble. You have one flash, some deagles as well. Double digits would have been great. That was a great chance to get close to it, but somehow Tyloo win out on the full eco. Smoking towards connector now. Mid control coming through. You can see they've left A completely open. Suggested will be a B split. Jax needs to be flashed in there. There's the flash, and there's a chance. Oh my goodness, it's actually working out. The flash couldn't have been better timed. A full eco victory on the cards here, but it's up to somebody who's now towards the underpass. Do you have to face him, boys? You've got the bomb, you have control, and you're challenging one by one. Just have to try and stay alive here. Good incendiary will flush him out. Shock's in a good position here, and somebody has to wait for the flames and smokes to dissipate at this point. Still has a fighting chance, but Shock's unlucky, both with rifles at this point, and a flashbang. The fact somebody's on 25 HP, I'm going to suggest he doesn't do this, but
Weird.
could happen.
I'm surprised you just stayed in the smoke. He would still be grayscale and let it fade. I thought he'd back away once the Molotov was gone, but he took the risk of no one being there. 25 seconds, AK-47, bomb at top mid. Nothing he can really do in this round. And Shock's position, you mentioned it before, it's better now because he's rotated around. They have either end of mid, window, easy pick, down he goes.
Well, they lose to a full eco, and they pretty much offer the same up in return. One AUG purchased by Jax, I think it was. So that's incredibly good by him. The fact that he can actually get that flash towards middle, it couldn't have been timed any better. They had two players towards short, two in connector, flash over, and all the aggro taken away from the pistols. It just allowed Jax to do this with the AUG there. You could see they were absolutely done for. What a perfect round from G2 there. Just what they needed after the defeat to the Glocks, and it's the last round of the first half. It's a reset. Looking very good for G2 to get back on track to getting 10 rounds on the board.
Lucky. Already boosted up with the AWP. Jump up there yourself, everyone knows that, but by boosting on the op, if they were going quick, he's always going to be ready to shoot. It's a safe way of doing it, and they're going to double up Catwalk as well, so again, a mid-presence from G2. Kenny as well is on Catwalk, so both ops over toward the B side of the map, but one of them is focused on mid. We can certainly rotate back to Catwalk and watch the windows when they enter. Bintet making some noise. Out toward mid, finally. He'll take a slight bit of nade damage. Molotov's going to do more. He's got to back away, and that puts him directly into the clutches of Shocks. That's well played between Kenny and Shocks. Lucky, waiting the whole time, finally gets his shot on somebody, and it's a two-man lead for G2.
Looking very good for them. Mac 10, couple of AKs here, 5 versus 3. Should be no point of access for Tyloo at all. Looks like they're focusing towards connector, and Shocks, he's been on an absolute tear this game. 14 kills to his name as Body continues his strong performance as well. That's his 13th. 5 versus 2, less than 30 seconds. There shouldn't be a universe where Tyloo can pick this round up.
Summer trying to sneak in. Knows there was one in ladder before. Found it. If he could have avoided Kenny. That's a hard thing to do when he's playing like this. He might have had a second kill, which would have given them a chance at the round. Lucky's got other plans as well. 10-5. Good start from the French. Tyloo showing some signs, perhaps?
Well, it was actually G2 losing the pistol and coming back and winning 10-5, even losing to a full Glock situation as well. That's actually very good from G2. That's what we wanted to see from them as they develop into this tournament. Can they keep it up, though? That's the big question. You're going to have to find out after this break.
Don't mess with Frankie. Don't get spied on by a drone, man. Oh, I'm putting that back in my suitcase. I'm not flying that around again. It's too expensive to get hit by a bat, but getting hit by a pretty swift scoreline. Everyone on G2 equal to the best fragger or above that on Tyloo at 10-5. They go to the T side to start their attack. And with that, they're going to go with 2 players on smokes, by the way, and over toward B. So watch for perhaps an arch smoke and a deep window, or are they going to keep him for the post plant? They might just do that. One's going to drop now. That's going to take away the vision from somebody as they enter. Bintet, therefore, left alone. Somebody's got to swing left, but they can push through onto him, and that's exactly what Body does. Good start. Good crossfires. Rotations have arrived. Trades go back and forth. Shock's down. It's all on Body. It's actually worked out. Second pistol, perhaps, for Tyloo, as they got there very swiftly, I have to say. Despite that smoke in the window, they came through the door. No one was deep enough to spot that. And then they just swarmed around quad.
Smokes were decent, but the shots were a little bit better from Tyloo. Body, almost no chance of winning this one. If you can get a kill, that would be fantastic at this point, but taking that at 8 HP, they're going to know it as well. He gives it his all, but nothing he could really do there. Good trades and nice shots from Tyloo, who will give them both pistols now as they're down 10-6. I assume we see an eco here from G2. No plants, so we'll see the AKs come out the next round, as they were unable to really penetrate the B side there. A couple of nice trades, but a 3 versus 1 to close it out. They'll have to wait a little bit longer before they can really get into the second half. Full eco, maybe a flashbang purchase, jump out the apartments or palace. Is there any flash at all? They're purchasing nothing, not a single dollar invested in round 2 here. Kenny waiting in spawn. Does he get anything? No, just going to be adjusting some things and making sure he's comfortable for the next round. Looks aggressive.
UMP. Yeah, very. Considering if this goes down, it's a gun given away. 2 players there. They've got to be very careful about this.
Smoke deployed though, will buy him some time. He has full control of the B apartments there, so worth the push. Shoves them back towards A, perhaps. Bomb still down into B apartments. No real chance of being planted with nothing purchased. But at this point, you might as well just drain out the utility. It's annoying and quite boring to play against, but if you can get every flash and every smoke out of the CT defense, then you know you're taking money out of their pockets going forward. If you do win that next round, your reset potential actually grows with every grenade thrown.
Fantastic point. There is 1 smoke and incendiary left if they wanted to try and pull those away. Back toward mid for G2 and trying to do so. Passive hold from jungle from attacker. He can watch both the window, but likewise be involved in the crossfire at top of connector. Bintet will call that now. Attacker goes on that information bomb down. Execute still inside of the site. Pretty straightforward setup.
Well, they do manage to get a little bit of the utility thrown away at that point. The AK is certainly coming out here. It's Jax who can afford the AWP, but I doubt they purchase it. It's going to go for the AKs here. Standard 5 AK round with the smoke and flashbangs. Maybe a few HEs in the mix as well. We'll see if that rings true. Body, last one to purchase. They'll take a tactical timeout. The first one from G2. Now the coach to come in, give a speech and work out how they're going to operate in this first round. They know if they can get a clean one here against the MP9s and a UMP as well, they could be right back in the driving seat. And this sort of buy on the CT side, you need to go aggressive somewhere. Someone needs to be pushing a ramp or palace, maybe a little 2-man push with the MP9s and even just get 1 pick, upgrade to an AK. And G2 will be very aware of that fact. They should be playing in a slow default to begin with and see whether there is a push there, or go for a set piece from the very beginning and see if they can just work as a 5-man unit and dominate with the rifles. 2 options. I would say anything but a rush is viable for them. Just need to be ready for any potential aggression from the CT. So let's see if we can work out if they'll go for a push here. 3 towards A. Maybe they will push that A ramp. Attacker will use the AUG. Fires off some shots towards top and middle. No CT pushes coming in just yet. Actually quite a passive setup. 3 SMGs here. Incredibly difficult round to win. But if they do, they've got tons of money. And they'll force G2 to another eco.
Smoke down window. Flash inside of the one that already existed at the bottom of connector. Lucky looks in. Doesn't see anything with it. Not so lucky to find a kill through the smoke. Just redeployed at this point as well.
Just to note, there's only 1 player towards that B side. That's going to be somebody with an SMG. Holding the pillar right now, that is a one and done position, if that.
It's a very tough position because they're going to be behind him. If they look down from the window, he's gone. They haven't yet. He had a chance to spray for more, but Attacker's in position to capitalize, and they're not yet in from balcony to watch the doorway. He's inside of the sights. Removed. Good find from Shocks. Still very difficult affair to put the bomb down as the smoke will cover the window. They might be able to rush it in. They need to watch Cat just to confirm that it's clear. Shocks is doing that. I think Jax might have been best suited to push in with that smoke down and get the bomb in position. He thinks otherwise. Works out so far. He'll get Bintet. Shocks goes over to get the bomb. It's a little bit late though. Jax, he gets caught out. Again, if they weren't through the window, Jax might have been able to push over there and grab that already, but he held the angle. Shocks confirmed it now. He'll go for it in a one-on-one as Summer is the only one left. 100 HP, MP9, bomb being planted. He can't advance fast enough to get there, but he gets on Jax before the gun's leveled.
And that's huge for Tyloo there. It comes down to the 1 versus 1. Remember, 3 SMGs in this round. The fact they win, it doesn't matter. It comes down to one player. Their G2 economy is going to be in a fragile spot. The bomb planted, and enables them to get AKs out again. If they hadn't got that plant down, they would have been done for. So they're going to buy up once more here and get the AK armor out. They'll have little to no utility. And being G2, I'm almost certain they buy this. They know if they can win this round, it resets the CTs completely as we keep getting closer and closer to tying things up. I respect this from G2. They're not force buying. I assumed they would. It's been one of their main issues and talking points throughout this tournament, the constant force buys. They're actually taking a more conservative approach and saying, you know what, let's go for pistols, keep the money strong with a better team here, and let's win out in the gun rounds instead of trying to force it every single time, which has been losing us games.
Needs top mid. Molotov countering it off. He'll rotate out already. Oh, Attacker. He was in a great position, but blinded up. He couldn't find the kill. It's only for 1, though. And it is going to be immediately Tyloo capitalizing on the situation with such a great crossfire setup inside of a pretty default. Pretty standard. 15 HP for Lucky. This will be the 4th round in succession for Tyloo. And they come now within 1 of G2 on the CT side. Again, thus 2 is next.
And that's where we feel like G2 have an absolute upper hand. And firepower and in general approach as well seems to be one of their better maps, and not many top teams are willing to play Dust 2. It's the least played map at this tournament so far. I think after yesterday it's been picked, what, 2 or 3 times out of 40+ maps, so they're certainly specialists on it. Whether Tyloo will be up to the task is yet to be seen. I think they really need this Mirage victory, which is now a conversation to be had. Tyloo managing to get 4-0 in the second half here and winning that all-important 3rd round against the AKs. That was the big one for me. And Excurep surely will be smoked out. He's not going to be gifted a free kill, is he? The smoke isn't ideal towards window. He's got a huge gap, and he actually misses the shot, gets double grenaded. That's fantastic from G2. Maybe a little bit lucky that he actually missed a shot. They weren't aware such a gap was available to him. But still, Jax 9 HP. And they'll slow things right down with the advantage they've gathered here. What's the CT response? We're going to have to see one. We have got Summer on the AWP this time. After Excurep went down so early on towards the window. And it looks like they fall back into an A execution. They still have utility. Just the one smoke that I assume they chuck that in spawn and Molotov sandwich and hope for the best here. It's still going to be a rough round for them. They get the flash over. Like 3 or 4 flashes required here as that's the smoke for CT spawn. Summer's actually playing in front of that position, so the flashes will actually be beneficial here. They need to be pumping over like 2 or 3 at least just to make this a little bit more comfortable. There's the first 2. Is there a 3rd? And there's not. So Summer should be able to get a kill. Another missed shot here. They need to start landing these orb shots, but it's not happening at all, and G2 will really take advantage of that. There's a smoke towards spawn to grant a plan.
Yeah, they've exploited it perfectly. Bomb to go down. Double flash to CT, no smoke, but they have someone watching it still, so the safety is there. Unfortunately for their sake, there's no one rotating in that direction. The only thing they're going to try and do at this point, I imagine, is save. Bintet confirming that. He'll hold up inside of kitchen. Somebody will watch the other entrance to the apartments with the AUG. They'll send, well, I guess 2 on the hunt, but not overly aggressive, and I don't think they should. We talked about the discipline not to force buy in the last round. G2 likewise can't afford to give away guns yet. They'll keep the lead. They'll go 11-9.
Will they be able to find these remaining CTs? Doesn't look likely. 2 of them survive. They're going to get $1,400 on top of what they have right now, which isn't much. Somebody can drop a UMP. It's pretty much the same story for Bente, who could drop a FAMAS, I guess. They will buy. Summer with $7,000. He'll probably get an AWP up for the squad. So definitely a buy coming in. This is a massive moment here in this best of 3. The 2-2 game. Loser goes home, winner advances to the new legend stages. You were right, Henry. Dust 2 has been picked only twice so far in the challenger stage. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I normally am right. This one is good to be correct all of the time, though. So That's confirmed.
Anything else you want to praise yourself on?
I'll think about it and get back to you. I'm sure I can come up with
Usually
stuff. Do you want to praise me on anything?
No, not at all.
Nothing? Nothing, not at all.
Not at all.
Nothing that comes to mind. Okay, well, fair enough.
11-9. 2 timeouts remain at this point for G2. 3 for Tyloo. Malik, the coach.
Who actually had to play a couple of majors ago.
Yes, that was with Envious when they were still part of the scene. Well, with the French scene, I should say. They obviously are back now in North America with a much different lineup. But yeah, stepped in. Scream went nuts that game on Inferno trying to offset the difference. But unfortunately, Malik, that was his first competitive CSGO match. He was a former player, but hadn't had too much practice.
Yeah, as a Source player, so it was like a long time since he played a pro game. And it was
RPK that was sick too, was it?
Yes, he got really ill at the event. So it wasn't the best, but G2 picking up their first round of the second half. But like we said, there was enough cash here to continue buying on the Tyloo side. It's far from ideal, but not too bad. Attacker, the only real compromise with the SMG, if you play smart, you can make that work. X-Grip hasn't looked as efficient as you would expect with the AWP. A lot of missed AWP shots so far, and here's the push. Getting Attacker set up. But it's a B split that will be initiated on the French side of the equation. Going to lead with the AWP Kenny, who focuses towards that connector. But Bentep, great spot here. He's going to get frags from this, no problem at all. At least a 1, and there's no trade potential. So that's a little bit shoddy from G2, I have to say. Checking such a key choke point. A lot of CT presence in this room, and there's no one to back him up. He just goes down with nothing.
X-Grid still just waiting to see when they walk in. He's not completely alone. Great shot to find Jax because of this. Somebody's already holding backside of the smoke to make sure the windows are covered. Okay.
This is a bit of a mess from G2 now.
Yep. Just drop down, make a ton of audible noise, and leave Lucky for dead.
Didn't want to flash into that CPL room or ladder room, whichever you want to call it. Anything would have been good, just apart from walking in by yourself. But just, there it is. That's what we've seen from G2. That's why I haven't really been impressed with them. That's not bad from Kenny. Maybe he survives with the orb. That's something. They're going to get 1,400 back, and that is a hard reset. This map's starting to fall out of their grasp now. With Kenny S saving the orb, he can actually drop an AK. Whether he wants to do that's another thing altogether. He'd have his money as strong as possible for future endeavors. And it will be Tyloo to pick up quite the easy round, I have to say. Didn't have to work too hard for it. Didn't even have to make their own aggressive play to get the pick. It was almost put on a plate for them and served up towards the short area. There we go. 11-10. Timeout for G2. Signs of horrible plays we saw earlier on in the tournament. Just really uncoordinated solo pushes and lack of utility. Discipline coming through, and you can see the coach doesn't look too happy about it.
Yeah, that was very poor. 10-5 score, remember at half. Looked great. Pistol win, and one very timely, literally, where time ran out on the bomb. Clutch by Bintet. Another where they made a mistake ultimately and didn't consider connector. Got the Molotov way too deep in the incendiary, I suppose, if you want to be technical. Allowed him to kill the diffuser there. Ultimately, it could have been a 13-2 half just as easily. But now we're swapping over where Tyloo wins the second pistol as well. Their map choice, they're starting to look comfortable. And we're seeing the lack of teamwork from G2 appear yet again.
Well, Kenny gets the AWP out once more, not force buying. So trying to keep their money strong. Kenny gives them a couple of pistols, I believe, and he gets himself some utility as well. This is all about Kenny S. Looking for opening kills.
He's going to go aggressive. Pre-scoped. He'll walk right around that corner, look to the back wall of the site. No one spotted yet. Check the top of the stairs. No one there. Has to consider the corner because it would be pretty pitiful if he went down to that, so does. And around to peek out towards CT. Flash goes over. Oh, yes, sir.
What?
All he saw was the pitched arm. The nade came out, and he figured out exactly where the player was standing because of it. That is damn sexy from Kenny. That is smart, and smart is sexy in 2019.
That was pretty unbelievable. That's all they needed. Not enough to win the round yet, but maybe this is body catches and unsuspecting attacker.
Oh!
That's more like it. The P250 delivers. He's got Benter locked in towards the vent as well. This round has fell apart for Tyloo.
All you need to hold the vent as well is a pistol. Slow movement
true.
mechanics, headshots are easy to walk through. He can just sit there all day. Bomb already planted. They've got to save the AKs.
That was a full HP player underneath the Palace position. How he looks so efficient at that distance, I couldn't tell you, but they'll take it all day long, and it'll start to a Kenny S pick and then a body backstab, and all of a sudden the round is theirs. G2 are sloppy on their previous approach with a full buy, but this is anything but absolute perfection, perhaps, as now 5 players survive and the bomb's going off and they've reset and returned. Tyloo now trying 12 to 10. They're going to save 2 AK-47s, and Jax has got a double up on the T side. It's not ideal, but they'll take it. Might as well. And we'll move into the next round. Not going to throw that away, but this gun might be lucky. Actually hits the shot. That is magnificent. What a round from the French.
That's exactly what they needed. Post timeout after, by all accounts, a very, very poor tactical round beforehand. Spectacular turn of events. And it wasn't just Kenny getting that kill. Yes, that gave them the confidence to get inside of the site. Pistols did fantastic work. Body got great positioning. Watch that over and over
This
again.
one. What?
That's utterly ridiculous.
Double dink. That's the only way you kill him at that range. Kenny hits that shot too. He's hit Ben's head. The only player with a rifle there, down to 57.
Somebody has armor but not a helmet. Do you consider just giving him the AK at this point in time?
Bentech a star player. He's got the AK. Going for one taps anyway. Not yet, I guess. He'll be happy to use it until he's like 20 HP perhaps.
Shox knows that there's one. I'm not sure he's aware that there's 2. So he's got to be careful here. Dinked up. That's another gun grabbed. He'll be a bit annoyed that there was 2 there instead of just the initial. Ooh, somebody. Timing. Oh, second sooner and body would have been certainly up for grabs. Got around the corner too quickly for the pistol to do anything and smokes himself off. He'll be able to walk back through, but that's a gap. And Body and Lucky are both watching it. So not seeing him should confirm that he stays top mid, but they've got other ideas. They want to get back over to A in the meantime.
Kenny, right now alone, he has got Jax on his tail. Trying to work out that the Palace is indeed clear, which it is. But Tyloo gives themselves a fighting chance here, taking down Shoxy. Making their way towards the A site. Going to be another hit shot from Kenny. Well, he followed up with a grenade. He does, but he doesn't land. Attacker moves out of position towards jungle. Here comes somebody towards T-spawn, though. Didn't have the range of the weapon, the 5.7. Not ideal, and they'll start to fall back. What's the final play here? They just go for the execution. Now it's a 4-on-4. Still dangerous, though. Like we said, those star players with rifles still could be troublesome with 20 seconds remaining. Excura digging himself in the corner with the M4. It's all about him right now.
Jax, though, does find the kill instead. Bintet, that AK, he's pulled it around. 10 seconds. 10 seconds, bomb down! They've got to go for it because now it's in the open. That kill is everything.
No
But they've got to plant. They haven't done it. Summer can win this round as long as he stays alive, and he will. He's aware of it. Unbelievable mistake. The one kill on the bomb, they thought he was going for the plant. No one recovered in time. Body hit the shot they had to, but they just didn't get in position to plant.
They had to just focus on when there's 6 seconds remaining. And those who are not aware, it's 3.5 seconds to plant the bomb. It has to read 4 at the top of the clock for it to actually be possible. And they just didn't react to it. I don't think anyone was aware that the clock was that low. All they had to do was knife out, grab the bomb, plant, and that's the only way they could have won the round. And they just panicked a little bit too much and didn't do anything with it. Once that kill came through, it was definitely possible to get it down. And that's a massive disaster for G2. That was their round. It all falls apart, but they still have the cash. They're going for a faster play towards it. They've broken through the choke point now.
Shots to CT. Jax, he's got them. Summers pulled one back, though. They run around to try and pin him in the corner. He finds it. Double Molotov in the same position means he can just fall back. He's already done so. If he was still there, the stack on him, the low HP. It was a 95. I thought he was tagged a little bit more than that, but certainly would have been painful. Shox, good time to get toward middle. We'll find attacker. That gives Lucky a bit more to work with. Underneath of Shadow. Doesn't have to worry about the top side of jungle, but they do have to consider windows still. Slow peek from somebody. Oh, he looked away from Sandwich. I don't think he was spotted. Did get Kenny. Thought maybe Jax was going to see him. Smoke down for himself. He'll get away. Shox has rotated all the way back around to join his teammates, and this will be a front A take in a 3-on-3. Victor of this round is going to be in a fantastic position money-wise because the other team is not going to have anything.
You're absolutely right there. 30 seconds here. and Lucky maybe considering planting on the right-hand side here at the bomb site. They need to start hurrying up there. What's the play? They haven't got any grenades and need to feel comfortable, at least towards one position. It's not going to be a jungle. Jax has gone down, and they'll just have to go for the plant here and hope for the best. Shoxy, will he deliver the frag? Certainly not. And it looks like Tyloo have done it again. They've got themselves right back in here. If they can take down Lucky in this 3 versus 1. No flanks towards T-spawn, just have to worry about that. And they have got a kit. That's on the back pocket of Summer.
Lucky to play this with the bomb ticking. Oh, somebody just absolutely decimates him. Around the corner easily. Kit's already on it. Tyloo's going to go 12-12. No money for G2. Shock says 62, 47 for Body, 34, Kenny. Same for Jax, and then Lucky's just behind them. Do they go for it? This is where we've seen them in the past give themselves some trouble. Money-wise, late game. Force buy, it's a risk. I think they might want to sit this one out.
It will be a risk. There's enough there to get an AWP and maybe 2 rifles. That's what they'll take the time out. That final one, they're making a lot of mistakes at this point. This is why we were so worried at the beginning of the tournament for them. It looked so uncoordinated and so panicked in certain situations. And now the pressure's really on. This is the 2-2 game, the final chance. And it was looking oh so good in the first half and went down 4-0, I should say. Then got reset after picking up that first round. Ever since then, it's just been a collection of nightmare rounds. As they will not buy into this one, I can confirm on my screen and yours now. You're going to see Deagle's CZs come through. They will keep the money strong. Maybe get 1 AK here. Shoxy's considering it. He hasn't got an upgraded pistol yet. He can just get the 1 AK around these pistols. That's what we call the tactical purchase. He goes with the CZ instead and the utility. These rounds are possible to win. G2, this collection of players used to win so many of them back in the glory days. The Tech 9 era, perhaps, is when they were the absolute powerhouses with the pistols.
Connector already tamed. Flash and around the corner. Body wanted to focus inside of the window, but they look to the chimney instead. Kenny, third man out, finally gets the trade, but that means it's the advantage quite comfortably now as well, with Summer out from Shadow to Tyloo, and probably the lead at this point with Kenny left alone. Even with the M4, couldn't do anything with it, and quick round from Tyloo in the end. 4 players tied for the lead in frags right now. Jax, Kenny, Body, all on the G2 side have 18, and attackers matched them on the Tyloo side. Very close in terms of kills, in fact. Everyone on G2. Shox is the lowest on 16, the highest is 18. Everyone's within 2 kills of each other.
Yeah, Shox hasn't been as strong in this second half, I have to say. Tyloo take the lead now. Buys that. Kenny with no AWP. He's got the CZ instead. And Excurate will be making his way towards that connector. Oh, attacker lucky to be alive there, considering we know how good G2's aim is. And it will be the kill eventually, but Org on the other side of the ramp here. They're next to each other. My goodness, that was close. Body down to 1 HP, but Excurate will find the kill here. Jax needs to protect his teammate. 3 versus 3, and somebody just looks so aggressive and on point right now. Wallbang attempt comes through, not going to land.
Already planted. Body has 1 HP.
Yeah, they've got no flashbangs or anything to work with here. This should be a Tyloo round.
If Body could find a headshot, they are going to CT. CT should be a confirmed kill. That should be easy. But if he can play the boxes and find someone at stairs before CT gets in position, right now, for example, oh, you might give him a chance. Shox already has 1, now with the 1 HP and a player behind him. I don't think it's going to go far. I take it back, Body. Oh, I nearly pre-fired it. His anticipation was there, but you're right. Tyloo, Kit, going to pick up the round 14-12. But now it's G2, make or break, because they've got money to buy, and they absolutely will be bringing out the op for Kenny.
You're absolutely right there.
Shox will have to drop. Yeah, he's going to have to drop it to get armor. So Kenny's done that. AK brought out. Shox will... Oh, they're going to not. Okay, all right. I thought they'd give it to him.
The AWP will not be purchased. Shox would rather have 5 rifles here. We'll be lucky on the Galil. 1 more round for map pointer. Tyloo, we said they'd have to win Mirage to stand a chance in this best of 3. Dust 2 just doesn't seem likely for them. And somehow they pull this game back, and Ventep Decent damage towards short. Some trades coming in now as the CT start to get back into the round. 3 versus 3 very quickly as G2 trying to make their attempt towards a B split. It's really not working out for them. And Tyloo knocking on the door of map point.
Chaos, and somehow they pull it back on the Tyloo side with sprays at Connector. Missed AWP shot, however, at the back of the site, and it's now a 2-on-2. Everyone is in this corner of the map. Shox wants to work his way out as well. Jax still holding in the corner. Hears them walk out, but Attacker baits him into it. Look to the corner, and it's all down to Shox. Bomb is way over on the opposing side, and he's not aware there's a player right behind him with an AWP. Somebody has got Tyloo on map point.
Oh my goodness. Tyloo had done it again, 15-12, and the money is still in a very difficult spot. We've got maximum loss bonus there for G2, but that only yields $3,400 per player. They go with a fast B split there. They get the first opening 2 kills, and you can see him starting to crumble now. Kenny S with his head in his hands. All the star players not as dangerous as they were in the first half. They've barely got anything together, as now 10-2 in the second half. It's all gone horribly wrong. They do manage to get together rifles, but now it's going to require 3 clean rounds in a row. They managed to pick up a pistol victory and a rifle round, but that's about it. Tyloo looking for the map advantage. Been so good on the CT side as attacker. Watches the underpass here. 2 players on the other side. That's Lucky and Body. They've been so poor at the trade potential here. And this time a bit better, but Lucky's gone down to 30 HP. That grenade might finish him off. Doesn't quite connect.
Not yet, at least. Smoke inside a window for Lucky. That allows him to walk out safely and get toward Connector. Keep in mind that, oh, good Molotov. I was going to say that AWP on short that could peek as soon as they wanted to walk into the stairwell. They haven't gone even with that, though, but they at least boosted player. Oh, missed shot from Jax was not at all ready for Bintet to be there. 4-on-2. And the bomb sits in the underpass position. That's going to be very hard to get back.
It was looking so good for G2. First half, we were comfortable. We felt like they were winning the rounds they should be. They were hitting shots that looked glorious. And it's back to the same old troubles throughout this tournament and in the second half. Looking like they're out of position, out-aimed, and just taking too many risks. They even tried to be more conservative with the financial situation, which was a promising sign of things to come. But overall, the key moments, they weren't flashing in, they weren't trading, and it seemed like they were a little bit lost once again. Did we really see any executions at all on their T side map? Nothing really.
Not really. The Shox is
yeah, that says it all.
That does. I mean, he started off excellent this game. He needs to get out of that mental state right now because they've got one map to make it through to the next stage, to join Vitality, to put both French teams in despite all the issues there currently in their climate. Tyloo pull it back. They had less frags overall, if my math stands correct, but they win 16-12. They win both pistols, and it's the CT side that pulls it back as G2 just didn't have the communication for it.
Well then, it is going to be 1-0, and we go into Dust 2 next. G2 will need to find some form if they have a chance here to get to the next stage of the tournament. We'll be back after this break.
Intel Extreme Masters is brought to you in part by Intel, Vodafone, Acer Predator, Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel, HyperX, Bedway, and Pay Safeguard.
G2 struggled to win their map. It was none other than Tyloo who brought the fire on Mirage. The Chinese chose to take it to Mirage first, and G2 find just 2 on the second half. It was spectacular work to watching both CT sides finding double digits, and now just 1 map away from the likes of Kenny S, Shox, and Co. to not be in the Legends stage. That's the reality that they're facing, and to break it down, of course, have none other than Pimp and Sponge. Guys, what is going on in the G2 camp? But, I mean, are we just going to be giving Tyloo a lot of praise and shrugging at G2?
Look, I think first and foremost, Tyloo have to be counting their lucky stars. They have Bentet on their team, right? Bentet was tied for the second place in clutches in this tournament so far. Now he's number 1. Now he has a total of 7. He had 2 clutches in that first half, a 1v4 and a 1-on-2, and they were instrumental because when you look at that first half, Tyloo only had 5 rounds, and one of them was the pistol, and one of them was against an eco. So realistically, if Bentet didn't get those clutches, they wouldn't have found themselves in this position at all.
I think Shox's emotions shown last in a clip before we went to a pause was pretty telling. The fact that he was sitting with his head down in his hands, feeling absolutely disgusted, I feel, by the performance of G2. They let this one slip out of their hands. They had this one in their hands. Had they not messed up those rounds, not lost the eco, not lost the clutch to Bentet, that never should have been won, it would have been their map. And coming into Dust 2 is a map where they feel very comfortable, so they're seeing that 2-0 progression slipping out of their hands.
So, you know, using words like disgusted, Shox definitely did look demoralized. What's going to be sticking out in his mind? You know how when you have a bad experience, you keep reliving it late at night. What is going to be going through Shox's mind about Mirage?
I mean, he's just unsatisfied and he feels like the potential has not been rerolled right. It's one of those situations where you, as a player, and you probably know it as well, you think to yourself immediately after the game, we should have won that round, we should have won that situation, we would have been the happy ones right now, not the sad ones. Obviously, being a professional player, you learn to deal with that, you learn to say to yourself, all right, what's done is done, we can't do anything about it now, we have to focus on map number 2, but those emotions coming out of Shox straight after the game, those are real emotions.
Tyloo, though, great performance from them. Yes, Bentet, top of the scoreboard, spectacular game-winning clutches, but something, Chad, that you kind of told us to keep our eye out for coming into this game on Mirage was Tyloo's tendency to keep that ramp open. Did you see it happen again?
Yeah, we actually have a clip here of an example of that. So if we can pull that bad boy up, I'll start playing it here. We know Summer, he tends to play that default position over towards apps, but this time around he's actually covered off a ramp. So maybe G2 identified that same tendency. You're going to see the push come through here, and Summer's going to find the first kill. What's unique about this is even though he grabs the first kill, he's not expecting another player to re-aggress, and this is where Shox is actually going to make a really big play. He's gone for more information, gone to take that fight, gone to take that duel. But if you look at the top left, you can see that Summer's rotated completely out of position, Jacob.
Yeah, and I love the impact plays by Shox. If we fast forward a little bit here, you can see he's pushing all the way up to B apps. Now, what annoys me a little bit is that Shox makes so much impact. He gets a frag here, but if you look at the minimap right here, the rotations is not coming in accordingly for G2. They're misreading the entire situation. Despite Shox making this ballsy push down towards slope, getting a kill, making it a 4 versus 4, basically knowing that this is going to be this is not going to be a B hit, and if it is, I'm here to stop it. They're still not making the according rotations. Kenny is leaving A side open completely. Buddy and Lucky is still both towards B. Yep. At that point, it's just a mess for G2.
To be fair, it is a really good call here as we're going to play this clip out from Tyloo. They initially were going to go into a B split, but as soon as they've realized Shox's position, they've gone straight up connector. They're able to get into the site. I'm a bit disappointed that nobody's covering attacker while the bomb's going down. Lucky gets 2 free kills, and that's why now we have to have this 1-on-4 situation we're about to see play out from Bentet. Sure, he plays it fantastically, but maybe the round never would have needed to actually end up in this position if they had better communication and better post-plant positioning to allow that bomb to go down. So as you see this play out, this is one of those huge rounds that we're talking about from Bentet. If they didn't win this, Tyloo maybe, would have only gotten 3, maybe less. Sorry, not less, but, they wouldn't have been seeing more rounds than that in this half.
Wow, look at his stats prior to this as well. He was completely irrelevant prior to that incredible play.
Yeah, definitely by Bentet. It's one of those rounds that goes back and forth, while you see G2 making, not a mistake, but they're losing the opening duel. Then Shox is regaining the control, G2 losing the control, Lucky regaining the control for G2 with 2 AVP frags, and all of a sudden, Bentet has to pull out a 1 versus 4 to win it. It's just one of those rounds that Shox is going to think about when he's sitting there with heads in his hand. that one should have been ours.
This is going to sound fun to say. Tyloo, G2, Dust2 up next. Now, let's think about it. You've been theory crafting, Chad, that you have a feeling that Tyloo could be strong at this map. We've only seen it twice so far in this entire stage. And we're on our 5th day now.
Sure, I think Tyloo's individuals on the CT side are able to lock down all parts of this map. They can also have a very potent double AWP setup when you execute as the main AWPer for sure, but somebody in Summer have been picking it up and they've been doing fun things with it as well. You think about that, then you're going to have Bentet and Attacker locking down other choke points in this map. Their CT side could be fantastic. The T side is very worrisome for me. I made a tweet out there saying that I think the European style that they're going for their defaults is actually being taken advantage of, because when you allow a team like G2 is used to playing against the default spread pick, information and execute style, they're able to just go aggressive, find the kills and drop back. That's their bread and butter. So I think for these guys here, maybe go for more of that swarmy style that we used to see out of Tyloo, over a year ago.
Swarmy style, Jacob. Who on earth is taking this one and why?
While I not disagree with Tyloo may be good on Dust2, I simply just think that G2 is going to be better overall. Yeah. What we saw yesterday against Fnatic, I believe it was just a solid performance from G2. For the first time, I sat back with a feeling watching the game that this G2 is a team that has a red line, they have a foundation, and they know what they want to do in the map. They had a set game plan, so to speak. So in that regard, can they pull off the same performance as they did yesterday against Fnatic? I think no matter how well Tyloo is going to play, it's going to be tough for them.
Yeah, we can only assume how Tyloo are going to play, but we know how G2 plan on their T side. They were fantastic at taking long yesterday. They've got all the cool little tricks. And Kenius on the AWP, we always know that's a playground for an AWPer.
And Lucky, like that's the main guy, right?
Okay.
He was very influential yesterday. He had a lot of impact frags. He was doing the secondary AWPing. It wasn't Shocks. He was playing the rifle, whereas normally he's the secondary AWP. So he had a lot of impact, and he's the new guy being brought into this team. We have been a little bit critical of him, not really showing up to the degree that we expected him to. But yesterday he showed why he's brought into this team, and he did super well.
Yeah, it is going to be a tall task no matter what. Pressure mounting on the shoulders of both G2 and Tyloo. The Chinese squad are just one map away from doing what they did in London. It's a new year. Is it a new team? We'll find out. G2 looking to take us to a 3rd, over with Henry G and Sadakist.
We were talking about the possibility of G2 winning this series in 2 maps had they won on Mirage. We now arrive on Dust2 with them needing it, not just to close the series, but to survive in this major.
We haven't got a ton of information on Tyloo's Dust2. Like the graphics said, they've only played it 5 times, and whether they've been practicing it behind the scenes is yet to be seen, really. As we'll get into it, it's going to be G2 standing on the T side here. 1 flash available as they go for a fast, short approach. They'll clear that bomb down as quick as possible. All they can really do is flash up and hope that no one gets taken down. But it's Bentet and Excurip actually going to be defending here, and Bentet now alone as he has to try and find multiple kills. Flash goes up in the air, but down he goes. And it's going to be looking very, very good for G2 here.
Bomb plant by Body. Flash up by Summer. Take that back. It was a nade directly. This will be the first round pistol win that G2 gets in this series. They lost both on Mirage. Kill makes that a little bit more likely as Summer CT is going to get locked in. Jax gets somebody down, wrapped through. He'll push the door. Somebody knows it, so he gets aggressive. Nowhere really else to go. And G2 go up 1-0 to start it off.
There we go. First pistol on the board for them. Mirage felt like their map, but it all went horribly wrong in the second half. So it will be a forced buy, but the looks of things here from Tyloo in the second round. Scouts are very powerful in Dust2. You can get a few tags and hopefully set up your teammates for some shots with their CZs and P250s. We'll see if they can get it done here. It's a bit of a gamble to go for it, but it's still absolutely viable. We'll see what they can do here. So there's players running down towards the top of middle there. You can see the first tag comes through. It's exactly what I'm talking about. And just softening those players up for the pistols and Body. He might be dropped first here, and indeed he is. What a shot that is. Somebody actually has the bomb. More horrific mistakes from G2 entering a tight choke point like that. No trade potential, no nades, and with the bomb on your back. It's difficult to watch at some points here, Matt.
Can't afford these mistakes or they'll be on a plane out of Poland back to France. Somebody capping the smoke. Kenny's on the right. He's recovered the bomb, but that smoke means he can just watch the headshot position. Does exactly that. They will spray him down and make it impossible for him to retreat, but Bentet still has this covered off. They need to be expecting that. Hesitation in movement suggests that they are. Flash? Nope. Oh, there is now, and it's exactly when Bentet looked away. If he had stayed looking, he might have been able to find the headshot on Kenny instead, but now they'll push onto the site with Excurip being the only one left to hold off on A. The other two down toward middle.
Luckily, no weapons recovered. MP5 absolutely blown away there, and it's going to be so much damage done. 2 versus 2, but 1 shot potential with the scouts here. And that's where you'll see them do all the work and it all falls apart. They've got to be more careful. Why they keep entering these choke points with just 1 player, I could not tell you. It doesn't make any sense. It blows my mind. All you have to do is hold up, slow default, go together. That is it. At least trade out that killer short. This is the one. No one's there. He gets back safely and even has the audacity to go for another one.
Well, he knew the bomb was there, so they had to put more people in that position. So he just sat around and saw what he could find. And did flash for 1. Great damage on the deagle. You nailed it, because that made it just so easy for the scout to hit the shots. He stayed there, had the boldness to do so after hitting a lovely first shot. Xbox smokes.
Oh, hello.
Log back in, DJ.
It's Sliggy on this one.
Sliggy. Maybe if you didn't talk to suspicious people, you wouldn't have a problem, Sliggy. Smoke inside of the hallway. It was the Xbox smoke, which does allow you to push up catwalk without being seen from mid. So that's exactly what they wanted the pistols to do. They swing lower, the 2 players that went mid. Means they're all going to try and push in. I take that back. 1 did go back to mid, so they want to split the site. So far, it's gone well. 2 kills to the good, and B site is extremely hard to retake. So bomb goes down.
Not going for it, I don't think.
I was going to say, you may consider just backing off this. Why give full momentum back to them? Sure, they'll win the round, they'll get guns, but keep what you've got.
Good stuff from G2, though. Just what they needed. Smoke in front of the tunnel, burst through, and flashbangs were very, very effective there. CT's not going to be going for this one. They'll have to give it up. So G2, after giving up a bit of a horror show of a round previously, will be back in the lead, 2-1. And they'll keep 4 players up, the looks of things as well. Lucky just patrolling towards the B tunnels. And it will be somebody to be found. So that's another weapon for G2. They'll take that all day long. Excrypt and Bentet to save a UMP and a scout. As we continue, will they force around it? I doubt it, to be honest. We'll see. Might want to take a time out here and discuss their options. You can see them purchasing up now. They are going for it. I can confirm the Deagle armor is out for attacker. Somebody similar story at the 5-7. You can see them using that lovely smoke and just pouncing on opportunities there and finding the saving players as well. To get into the next round. A lot of pressure on Tyloo here. Difficult one for them to pick up. Knowing it's unlikely the AWP will be brought out, they'll get another scout into the equation, and somebody's pushing top and middle.
Aggressively. Oh, he's timed it with that flash being thrown to catch out body. Very well struck, but he will go down immediately after to the AK-47. Not so fortunate as to find the weapon and get away. Bold. Gave it a go. Shocks will wait out from the bottom side of the tunnels. Flash over, Shocks in, perhaps. Double flash, goes aggressive. MP9 clears corners, doesn't want to go all the way around. It doesn't really have a range game with the MP9. We know how good attacker already is on that Deagle, or at least has been in this game. It's not like he's one of the formidable names when I think of that weapon, but it certainly made a difference 2 rounds ago. Summer goes back down. Nade could be significant. They weren't quite far enough through the door. If they were, and he'd hit them all, the scout would be extremely relevant at this point in time because he's hit another. But it won't be a kill. And now they can overrun him. He's down to 29. That's when Bintet makes his presence known. Only getting the 1 on Jax, but the attacker still has the tunnel's position. Unfortunately for him, it's now a 1 on 3, and I don't think he really fancies it at all. They're going to catch him retreating as well. He wants to try and get toward the weapons, but Kenny's already on top of that. And it's now 3-1 for G2.
3-1. More convincing this time, and that's going to be the full eco for Tyloo. G2 certainly the favorites going into Dust 2 here. And not really much can be purchased. Excrypt looking for the orb next round. He'll be in a good position to do so with $4,300. He'll get a smoke and a flash. They'll probably smoke mid-doors. Could stack B or send 5 players towards long. The smoke is designed just to take vision away so they don't get any numbers in terms of crossing towards B at this point. So there's 4 towards long. Actually, 5. They're going to go for something a little bit odd here. So what is the play? G2 won't be aware it's a full stack because of that smoke. And they've got a lot of positional control towards short on the CT side. But we'll find them a frag. Time will tell.
All 4 look away from the flashes, surprisingly. It was very effective. Not so much on the kills. Attacker from range gets 1, but that's all they've got so far. He's got 1 HP. In fact, got a dink on Shocks even with low life. Now with no life, 4-1 G2, guns to come back up. Do they bring out? Yes, they do. AWP and an AUG for attacker. Only one AUG, interestingly enough. They didn't really have enough money to justify going for all of them. The slight price difference, you'd think that they justify it and still have enough utility. Bintet certainly could have.
At this point, the orb's certainly out. Lucky's got the decent spawn forwards long. You'll see everyone take that if they get the opportunity to do so. He doesn't commit. And now 3 players in towards upper B, making their way towards lower. I suggest the B split is on the cards here. We'll see. Bomb going to be in that position as they set up smokes towards the middle corner here. Just allow them to get out the mid doors first and actually start pushing up. They're not smoking spawn. Hello?
Wow.
Okay.
That's going to leave the bomb down. No smoke means full vision. I'm very surprised by that call. That's just so much information. Now there's a smoke in place. Kenny's locked off. I take it back. There's not. I thought there was that one all the way across. There's still a massive gap, and attackers flanked them out. This round's done. Tyloo surely has to get away with this. They forced out Body from the site. He wins the duel on Bintet. That will at least recover the bomb. And with Kenny already working through the tunnels, they can force the issue onto Execute. He's gone for a pistol this close because he's on the AWP. Bomb dropped again. He holds the outside of the wall. He thought about going for it against Lucky.
Well, he can still win this, absolutely. So Lucky at the B doors right now. Silent so far. He knows the player's there. Gets the kill, but they have control of the situation. That is such a weird approach from G2. I like the fact they're pouncing towards middle, but as you're running, surely one of you just smoke spawn to stop them having an absolute shooting gallery. They almost brought it back in the 1 versus 1 there, but still, that round was theirs. If they just smoked that area, it would have been enough. It would have at least taken away one of those kills. Maybe they still lose one player, they cross over, but it wouldn't have been such a massacre. As we go 4-2 now, remember this could be where Tyloo find a 2-0 and knock G2 out of the tournament completely. Their money's still pretty healthy on the T side, but Tyloo called the timeout here. Their money not as strong. They recover the AWP from the previous round, but only one player surviving means they're going to be hamstrung as they have to work out what the play is here. They've got an AUG, UMP, and Bintet yet to buy. You can see there's the replay of some of the crucial rounds here. This kill with the USB was absolutely vital just to get that bomb down in an awkward position here. 2 UMPs. So they might want to try something like an upper B push. Try and get that first kill in their favor, maybe stack towards short with the SMGs. They're only sending one player towards the B bomb side, so it suggests they're going to be boosting up maybe towards short, and indeed they will. Yeah. So they want to be close range here. This could work out, but Execute in the worst possible spot. Bintet looking for a double kill, not going to happen.
Yeah, that was really late to get the AWP up there. Bintet was in good position. You'd think he would have held it if the AWP just wanted to hold back and cover off, but he wanted to go for the peak. And caught in the middle of 2, he had nowhere to really hide. Still, though, it's a 3-on-2. Still, this is a winnable chance for Tyloo to pull it back, but all 3 players from G2 going to go mid. And we're getting to the point of importance for wins on G2's side, because remember, they're down a map. Somebody's going to catch off Kenny. And down a map as they are, they're low on money now. If you give Tyloo a bunch of rounds on this CT side, you're making your job very difficult to try and keep this series alive and force out cash.
Well, Molotov towards the doors. No utility remaining on the T side, but there's smokes available for the tunnels. Not really in the spot to throw him. I think that might be an attempt at least. As it does go down, there's smokes off the tunnels. Shoxy watching the window. His teammate won't be far behind him. He's actually behind that smoke right now. They need to start hitting these headshots. Time ticking away. It looks like G2 have done enough. Summer has absolutely no chance of winning this now. Has to try and fall back and maybe recover a rifle. Not going to happen. And Tyloo give it up. And to be fair, it was a decent attempt from them. Nice idea to stack towards short. The SMGs, they're in the right position, but unfortunately, timing a little bit off. The AWP was trying to get more aggressive than it had to be when we boosted up on the corner. They weren't expecting players right around the corner there, especially Body, who managed to take down 2, and at that point back to the B split, and it looks very, very efficient. It is going to be 5-2. A very difficult situation now as they've got absolutely nothing. They can't spend $1 here, as they'll just take USPs and nothing else in round number 8.
Kenny dropping down into the dark spot. Focus on mid again. So again, that last round extremely important because it would have left G2 with little to work with this time by. Instead now breaks Tyloo. They have a chance to go up to their 6th round. And we start to get comfortable because it's not really been the CT size that have been the problem for G2. Which is why, even though they're starting out on T side and they've got a number of rounds, they've got to make sure they make it a complete half. Jack's looking for the headshot. Was a boost for the pistols. Does spot one. Can't quite catch it off. It's a deathmatch angle, that one.
He has confirmed they're on USPs at least, so at that point, going towards long seems like the most advantageous approach here. Making their way forward. You've got no flash to go through the smoke. Should be absolutely zero chance of Tyloo pick this one up. First couple of kills come through and body detects the boost beneath. Surely there won't be a kill here.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think he realized it was a boost because the player was kind of at the apex of his jump anyway, so otherwise he would have sprayed in to find both, but they'll get them. So 6-2 indeed. And that was a 1-round reset after 3 rounds. Well, now a 2-round, but after 3 rounds going to G2. Money's still not that great.
Another eco.
They are. Wow, okay. Thought maybe they justify forcing out a little more aggressively, given that we're still pretty early on, but they don't want this to get too far out of control. So it's pistols only. Bit of armor. Not much else. No utility to speak of at all.
Shock's got that long spawn. No one there to challenge him, though. They're actually going to be focusing most of their efforts towards a B push on the CT side, and unfortunately for them, no one's there whatsoever. This is a nightmare, as that's pretty much the round guaranteed. As they've got lower B controlled, Kenny S will have that. He's going to hit one of these shots at least, and maybe he won't. There it is, and he gets dropped now. Surely the PD-50. Decent attempt. They've got to recover the AWP at the end of the round, but they've got time to do it. Somebody will be taken down. The AWP will be found any second. Shoxy picks that up, and we go 7-2. G2 on top right now. Top fraggers. Kenny S of 11. Body and Lucky both with 9 kills. As Tyloo really trail here on this second map. They finally have cash. Do they even justify an AWP? Excura has 5,400. That would have been an AWP, but not much else. He gets a couple of flashbangs, no armor. Not a massive deal on Dust 2. We'll see if it affects him. Kenny S going for the shot through the gap at the top of the door there. And Jax is not going to be committing. Actually, he is right through the flames there. Takes 50 damage. And if he gets a nade on top of him, he might be in trouble here. Nade is coming through. It's actually an incendiary as well. He'll have to extinguish it. Gives up his spot, and he's certainly going to die. As the bomb's dropped in the most horrible position imaginable, really. It goes right down towards CD spawn. How do they even get that back?
It's going to be extremely difficult for them to do so. No shot from Excurate, though, on the AWP. Body's got to dink through the wall on somebody. That gave Lucky all the confidence in the world to go for the fight, but not aware that there's a third one down toward the pit. Bintet finds it with the AUG, and it falls to just Kenny. Bomb watched. Kenny missing. Tyloo should find their third round. You can see why the importance of... Okay. Minute to work with here. They've got to be careful. Kenny could still do this.
Absolutely could.
Smart to smoke him off. Try and contain him at this point in time.
Pushing back towards A. Player on shorts. Needs to be very careful here. Kenny's aware of it, but surely the CT wins out. He does, and this is a classic Kenny S moment now. If he gets a plan for long and gets down towards that position, this is absolutely his round, but he will just focus towards short. Hits the shot, and there it is. An absolute Kenny S special there. 3 versus 1. The bomb down towards CT spawn. He nails the first shot, and the smoke actually allows him to get back towards A, and he's aware of the presence towards that short position. Nails that. Good plan, and didn't panic at all. As soon as he was spotted, he repositions and nails it. This is where it all began. Attacker gave him an opportunity, and he capitalized upon it. Really, really strong round for Kenny S. Some absolute world-class form, which we haven't seen from him in a while.
No, that's brilliant. And I was about to say, you can see why the rounds early on with the money advantage were so important, because if Tyloo win that, they start to close the gap. Even with 7 rounds, it's workable for them when they swap over to CT based on how things are going. Finally, some clutches going their way. You keep Bintet in mind in the last map. It's lovely from Kenny. I was a bit concerned when he missed the first shot after dropping down, but he made him good on it immediately after. And the smoke, I thought, was self-preservation. It turned out, as you say, to enable him to fall back. So 2 timeouts used now for Tyloo already. This being the second. And we'll see what they respond with. They have to sit to pistols once again this time. It's only a 4th round bonus. CT side, that's not enough. The way he's playing right now, you just figure someone's going to land into his crosshair. Nade's going to go deep. Shock's already in. Forced out. He's committed. Jax takes the brunt of the exchange in behind in the tunnel, but Shock's already found the kill.
Tyloo, that was their ticket back into this game. And 1 versus 3, the bomb down in CT spawn up against an AWP. You'd think there's no way they give it up, but they did. And they find themselves here. 9-2 down by the looks of things. Just 2 players remain. They managed to get an AK back, and some with low HP. He's opting just to save that by the looks of things as they make their way towards A to plant the bomb. Shouldn't be an issue whatsoever. It's Attacker looking for a 1B kill. That'd be a hell of a shot. Can't get close. And like we said, Summer just saving the AK-47 all the way back there in T-spawn, and probably gets found, to be honest. You can see he's being hunted, and there's no way. He knows Shox is going to be there. Executed behind the car, and it will be a very clean round for G2. They give up 1 frag there. Just body goes down, but he already found 2 kills in that round. They've got enough money for the rest of the half at this point, especially Kenny S. He's got a full buy with 12k residual cash. Excura gets the AWP out, and still they're not looking like they're fully equipped. I think Summer will have enough for utility here, but they'd ideally like a double AWP setup. Haven't really had the opportunity to show us that as we get into round number 12. Lucky's got the long spawn. Watch out for him. Going to be using it with the AK by the looks of things. They'll flash him over and see what can be done. He has got body behind him as they do fully commit.
Lucky's inside of the flames. He's got the flash high in the sky. He wants to repeat this because somebody's already got the kill. He does it just before the flash blooms, and therefore gets the kill. Kenny's going to follow that. Execute it down. Long open up. Bintet still, though, on catwalk. He needs to fall off of it. He needs to be sure to support his teammate over toward car, where Summer waits. May overlook this. Molotov down. Absolutely spammable in that position, in the new car position, that compared to the old model that was there that was windowless. You could see through it. It wasn't easy, the flames in the front of it, but it wasn't as penetrable. So Summer might get away with this. I have a suspicious feeling. Fortunately, they're going to back off of it. So forget that. They're going to go back toward mid, and inside of mid already, Shox is at the doors. If he clears that, they'll split this and go to B.
It's kind of strange Kenny didn't Molotov the car, just to be clear, because they weren't 100% sure they'd checked that position, but still might not be a huge talking factor here as he continues to find frags, and we'll go to a 4-on-2 with the CTs completely separated.
It's definitely not a factor because they went away from it. I think you're right, but they killed 2 at long. So the suspicion was that, or the assumption was that, well, we've got the 2 long players, why would there be a third? It absolutely would. I guarantee you Summer had at least a kill on the plate for him.
Ooh,
if they went that way. Attacker's got 2 on the doorstep right now. Kenny and Jack's down. Bomb's still going to be planted. Lucky's going to grab it. Fortunately, they had 3 players going in the same direction, and the bomb was picked up on the way through. Shox is still holding in mid as he was the whole round. That's pretty much why they made the mid-round call to swing to B, and it's worked out perfectly for them.
Well, there we have it. The long take there. Nothing too technical from G2. As I always say, if they get gifted the opportunity to send a key rifler or even an AWPer towards long, they'll usually take it. And that's why maybe a lot of teams don't like playing this map too much, because it means less tactical teams can find those sort of advantages and take control of positions like long. It's incredibly difficult to defend, as it looks even more likely that G2 pick up the second map. That's why we said Mirage had to be a must-win for Tyloo, as now they're 10-2 down, and once again on the pistols, haven't really done anything to challenge G2 at this point. Losing that 1 versus 3 seem to have ruined them here. 10-5 would be a lifeline, but they'd have to get past this round first with just CZs and P250s. We have seen G2 make mistakes, but right now, looking pretty clinical on the second map. Get a boost on the blue box, maybe here. We'll see. Not quite, just going to be going in towards the actual long cave itself. And Lucky is ready to kill both of these.
Yeah, so it should be pretty short work for him on the AK. Careful. Don't give yourself up too easily. Meanwhile, it is Pistols winning it out. It's the B site, Summer and Attacker. 1 high, 1 low, top of the box, and directly on the floor in front, but they want the gun back. Kenny was quick to make sure they could not. It's still the advantage. Bodies found. Bintet, Lucky top mid. He backed way off of the long doors after the brief little exchange they did have, and that's given him the position to take care of the Pistols at range. He didn't want to be up close knowing they were pushing through. Kenny, he'll take down Attacker. Decision-making seems much better from G2 this game.
Yeah, Dust 2 seems to be their map. Every time I've watched them play it now, it looks like they're comfortable, but either way, Tyloo looking for 11-4. Seems to be the double up setup will be coming out for the first time here. Summer and Excurep finally bringing that out. It's been an absolute nightmare of a half for them. Nothing going in their favor. Somebody, you'd expect him to hit shots like that with a 5-7, no problem. Starting to fall apart here, Tyloo. Cash looks very likely as the third map. And maybe just a straight up B rush here. Jack's lead the charge. Flashbang goes in and oh my god, does it land? Attacker's got to try and recover this, but Mac 10 out and they got so much money, says it all. They are as confident with that B rush. Molotov's in, that's pretty much round done. You don't even consider this if you're on the CT side. You just have to fall back and save the orbs, and you've got to accept that this one's gone.
See what they can find with it at the very least, to see if they can hold them into what will be the last round of the half. Double up. Bintet found like a $400 residual. Summers on 15. He's certainly vulnerable at this point in time as well. On the site itself, Molotov's going to clear car. That's a little more standard, to be fair. But oh, boost elevator. Summers heads down. I don't think Kenny sees him. Yeah, got him. But he's going to go now. Absolutely, Body's going to find the kill. Execura gets a shot from the pit, but does Shox even find him? Oh, he nearly does. Oh, he turns it back. He got both. I thought he looked away too soon. It cost them dearly, and no guns left over. It's going to be 12-2 and very little to work with.
That's so sick from Shox at the end. He thought he killed the player on the corner. He's like, you know what? You can live for a little bit longer. I got to take care of your little friend there. And
which begs the question, how did he not kill him in that time?
I don't know. Maybe he ran out of bullets or something like that. Either way, it's gone horribly wrong. The auto sniper's around. The damage is being done. It's going to be Bintet taking the majority of it. You normally expect a kill in these sort of rounds. That's why Dust 2 can be a lot of fun. If you get lots of money, like G2 have right now, you bring in those auto snipers, maybe multiple orbs as well. Go for initial damage there, but he didn't really do as much as you'd expect. But looking for 13-2 on the T side of Dust 2. Kenny S makes his way towards middle. There is a player there on the other side who starts to fall back now.
Made through the doorway. Bintet and Summer to hold it off. Summer in the additional cubby on the new version of Nuke. Smoke down. Needs to get off it. Have a little smoke by Shox just to put another Xbox out. He can try and spot through the doors again, and they can put pressure onto Catwalk as well, but I don't think that's the plan. High side pit for somebody. This position, we saw Zeus play this last week, and he whiffed hard on it. It was with the AUG as well. That time it took a number of bullets to get body, and Shox was easily able to trade. They considered looking that way. It can catch people off.
I prefer him to be right on the ledge, right? So as soon as he gets that kill, we just hold forward and drop down. He was way too deep on that one. If he was ever going to get multiple frags, it would have to be an absolute mistake from G2. But either way, 4 versus 3 now. Summer and Bintet already low. It's Bintet who took the damage from that auto sniper at the very beginning. They're trying to boost behind the smoke here, which is successful, but he has been spotted. Lucky will trade it out and get a couple of frags, as we'll see Summer drop as well. It couldn't have gone any worse for Tyloo there. They lost the pistol. They win the second round force buy, but that's pretty much it at that point. It was Kenny S, the one, the magnificent 1 versus 3 that really dominated the half. 13-2, and it looks like Tyloo might be done at this point.
Well, at least for this map, Cash is third. It's looking like G2 should tie it up. We'll take a short break at halftime. We'll find out if they can close it quickly, or maybe Tyloo's got other plans. We'll be right back. The boot on the other foot, G2 in the lead this time at half. I suppose, truthfully, they were in the lead last half too at 10-5. They just couldn't close it out when they got to the T side. But they are CT this time, and after a 13-2 half that looked very comfortable, I don't have many doubts to think that we're going to cash.
I tend to agree, Matthew. We'll see if Kenny S can open things up here as he takes a little play towards middle. He will fall back to the safety of the mid doors, and Bentet with a P250 enables him to have a bit more range and challenge position, like they said, long. No presence at all ready from the CTs. One player at the car. That's going to be Shocks as Bentet waits for a mistake. Anyone going to peek at all? 3 players with him now. They've got 2 smokes, presumably the crossover. They could use one deep in spawn, or just use 2 completely to cover the cross. And we'll see how it pans out. Jack's the bait and Shocks here.
Yeah, multifunction, information and bait. So far it's worked, but I gotta check it. Check the close corner. Still have to consider that the car is not cleared. Somebody's doing exactly that, and he'll see him sneaking out ever so slyly. Into frame, Bobby does get one back. Kenny fades off the smoke bombs down inside of it, but they will easily be able to scoop that up, and attackers got Jacks. Pistols as they stand were 2-0 in favor of Tyloo and Mirage. It was G2 that picked up the first one this map. Still a chance they can pick up this one as well. Kit for Lucky. And Body and Kenny both have 100 HP to work back in. Flash to go over.
Yeah, the flash there, surely deployed, but it's not that. You got to go up dry and see what can be done. Summer to take most of the aggro here, and Kenny has to nail the shot.
Bintet still behind the car. Headshots, oh, dinks through the edge of the box. Not enough. They're all on top of the bomb, and now Execute. He's too far away. Nothing he can do. That's G2 and a great retake. All 3 together. And the bomb defused to make it 14-2. Insult to injury for Execute.
Just when it seemed like they were about to get something going in their favor, they get that first kill towards car. They get the bomb down, the sights under control. They have the man advantage, but they let it all slip away. Couldn't hit anything, and GT didn't even flash. Just run up short, hit their shots, and Body got one through the smoke. I didn't notice that. It's quite cool. As attacker did what he could, but fantastic shots, and then back towards short. And like you said, too far away, difficult plan. And it's looking like G2 will find their 15th round right here, right now. Tyloo have to force buy off the plant. Oh, this is a bit of a mess. Still in T-spawn, swapping weapons around. I guess it's fine. Not ideal. But they want to see what they can do with 2 rifles and 3 pistols. Not the worst setup, but gotta wait for the initial utility to be thrown before they make their move.
Attacker already working in through the bottom of the tunnels. It's the early buy from Tyloo. Can't blame him at all. Somebody just rattling off shots. Still sounds cool, the Deagle.
Oh yeah, still the coolest gun in the game.
Either way, they're already on catwalk. Kenny and Shocks on the site together, incendiary in hand.
The Fat Eagles are out of tool. Gives up the fact that Tyloo are force born into this. You wouldn't buy anything on this second round if you're going for AKs in the third. Jax with full control. He's got top and middle. He's got the worst weapon possible for this. He has to try and get close to them. He actually does a very good job at that range. Difficult to find a headshot. Does it perfectly. Gives him the opening frag. They've actually gone past Shocks here. He's going to sneak through, and oh my goodness, he's absolutely owned them, and he doesn't get the second frag. He almost did. It looks like it will be Jax to make up for the little mistake there. It's a 3 versus 2 at a low HP. Summer, that will confirm map points and pretty much guarantee a third at this stage. Summer will go down in the end, and my God, 15-2. And that was the force buy. They'll have little to nothing as we go into the third round at the second half. One more will do it for G2, and they're going to have to buy. And will they take a timeout? Is it even worth it? They have one remaining. We'll see. Bentes still seems to be believing here. Discussing their options. CZs, Galil, Mac 10. You can see the HE being used instead of the smoke, just to ensure the scout, if it's there, doesn't have as much vision as usual. And here comes the long take. CT's in the pit.
Yeah, corner smoke that gets them further around. Once that's deployed, they knew they could fully take advantage of it. They'll also fall the other 2 back toward the A site instead. Bintet, smoke set towards CT. Bomb already inside of the tunnels. Pretty sure we know where this is going to go. And Body needs to be sharp. Does have Lucky alongside. Famos for Lucky. So it's Summer and somebody. Presumably to go in first. Somebody has CZ. Summer has the Galil. That's the gun to watch. Body supports out for mid. That allows Shocks to push through. Good flash. Pushes through and caught them perfectly on the edge of the smoke. Exactly the team play G2 lacked on Mirage. They're making great on here. Strides forward to close this map out as well as just Summer and Accurate make it all on Summer. And the sun sets on the short Summer, it seems, because 16-2 is a very fast game. G2 to cash.
It should have been their map to open things up. They let that lead slip away, but my God.